Hey guys, and welcome back to the Geek Street where the street speaks. Once again, my name is Jazz, and I have my buddies Sean and Harvin over here. Say hi, guys.
What's up, guys?
Okay, so once again, we don't have Eric over here today because Abang is a little busy. So it's okay, we'll just excuse him. But I was really hoping that he would join us for the recording because there are some references from Star Wars, the what's the name of the game again? Fallen Order.
I think it's Jedi Fallen Order, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah. I think none of us played that game except for Eric, so he would get some of the references. But it's okay. If any of you guys played the game and you got some references for Obi Wan Episode 4, you guys can drop it in the comments below. So yes, we are here to record the breakdown of Obi Wan Episode 4. I think nothing much really happened in this episode. It was more like a filler episode, but there were still some interesting scenes. So we'll just go ahead and break down on this. Obi Wan Episode 4. So the episode picks up directly from episode 3 where Obi-Wan gets burned halfway alive and everything. So now they are en route to the planet Jabim, and they dump Obi-Wan into a Bacta tank. So as you guys can see, compared to Boba Fett, this Bacta tank that Anakin uses and Obi-Wan uses is kind of a bit an old school kind of Bacta tank. He just dumped them in sort of like an aquarium. So while Obi-Wan is in the Bacta tank, he experiences he sort of like goes through what happened earlier about the fight with Anakin, with Darth Vader and everything, and you can see he's very disturbed by it because of course he suffered the same injuries that Anakin did, and at the same time whatever he felt Anakin feels, so it's like they're sort of like connected. So you can say that that brotherly connection is sort of still there. That's why they can feel each other. I mean, you saw it in episode 3 itself, where uh, Obi-Wan senses Darth Vader and Darth Vader senses Obi-Wan when they are on the planet Mapuzo. you know so yeah, at the same time Reva kidnapped Leia from the previous episode, so she brought her to the base. Later on we find out that this is one of Darth Vader's base, and she interrogates Leia over there. And Obi-Wan and Tala at the same time on the planet Jabim, they are attempting to rescue Leia, and they ask one of this guy, his name is Roken. So he's one of the people that assist these force sensitive individuals to escape using what they call the path. So we haven't really seen the path physically, how it looks like. Probably like a galactic route, an interstellar route or something, but maybe probably later we'll see it over there. And of course at first he mentions that everyone needs help. Every kid who makes a rock float out there needs help. So that this is a direct reference to I guess a new hope. And also because you see how Master Yoda trains Luke, starting by making rocks float. And we also see the same thing in, I think, in Boba Fett as well, when Mandalorian visits Grogu, Baby Yoda, and Luke Skywalker trains Baby Yoda by making rocks float. I guess that's like a Jedi step 1 training, make a rock float.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. So in the end, Roken agrees to help them out, to save Leia, and they mentioned that this base is actually on a water moon. So basically, an entire planet that's filled with water is called Nur, and it's in the Mustafa system. So you can actually see the red color, which is planet Mustafa, and then further away is the moon, Nur. So from there you can see that Darth Vader is sort of like keeping close tabs on all of his bases, he put his base there and his planet is just right there. So he can just like, I'm gonna go and check on them for a while. Then he just like fly from one planet to another. Same like how we move from one town to another. So
Just
yeah.
different. They have spaceships. We don't. That's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. No, they travel up and down planets like nothing. It's like taking a rapid KL bus and going and dropping off a Chowkit or something. So in this sort of like rebel space, we actually see an astro droid. At first, initially, I thought it was R2D2, but then while taking closer look, it's not R2D2 because the color contrast is a bit different. So yeah, it's not R2 for those of you who think it was R2. And then of course Obi Wan mentions that we can take the T-47 cruisers to sneak into the base, and of course the T-47 cruisers you guys will see later. And these cruisers are not something new. They are actually very famous cruisers that was actually shown in the Empire Strikes Back during the Battle of Hoth. In the snowy planet where
Go
the cruiser,
around. 80.
yeah,
What is it
eight,
again? 80,
80,
80,
80. Ah,
80, 80, 80. Yeah, sorry.
80,
Yeah.
80 Walker, yeah. So those are the same cruiser, and okay, off they go to save Leia, and over here you can see Obi-Wan still struggling to use the Force. I think this episode kind of like shows um when he uses the Force, only when he is required to. Like you see, when he's just trying to move an object, he's struggling so bad. But when he's forced to do it, he's way stronger. So later, we'll see how strong he actually is in using the Force.
No. For
So
me, I just want to chip in there in terms of the force. I think because like what I think we discussed in the previous episode is that I think not only that he has not used the force for quite some time, because I think it's been like 10 years since Revenge of the Sith. Maybe for the 10 years he never really tapped into the force, he never used his Jedi powers and things like that. But I also think that he is emotionally he I think of course he blames himself, I think, for the downfall of the Jedi, and how he should have maybe played a part in ensuring the Jedi wasn't so powerful, in terms of like being like sort of like the army lah, for the Republic, and things like that. So there's a lot of emotion. I'm very happy that they are playing and tapping into that, because as we know, we never really know the amount of years between the New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, like what he does, what he goes through. So it's very good, even though it's like such a small or like a passing detail, right? Not something like they really want to focus on is the main thing, but to tap into, and they never really he never really show why, or but we can, from his actions, we know what he's feeling and things like that. So I think it's very nice for them to cover that lah.
yeah, especially because we knew Obi-Wan during the prequels when he was in his high and mighty, and then we knew Obi-Wan from A New Hope, who is already old, but at the same time he's still wise and a bit comedical. But we never saw the struggle that he went through. So this is the part where he shows, and I think it's really good. So yeah, Obi-Wan and Tala, they infiltrate the base. So of course Tala, she goes in as an Imperial officer because she has the costume ready, and Obi-Wan, he goes through underneath through the ocean, and then of course you can see some sea creatures, and even the sea creatures, they are actually references picked from the game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Of course Eric is not here, so we'll just skip that part.
This is a tribute to Eric lah.
Yeah, tribute to Eric, when the time you could be useful, you're not here. And at the same time, you see Obi-Wan using I don't know, I forgot what the breather is called, but this is the same kind of breather you will see, I think, in Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, when they go deep underwater, they use this breather thing. And of course, this is an actual device that exists in our world as well. I think it's still at the concept stage, but I guess it's inspired from Star Wars. And I'm just letting you guys know, you can go and look it up. So right after they infiltrate the base, we see Reva interrogating young Leia, and Reva mentions. I think over here we can see a little more in depth of her disappointment and anger. She tells Leia that she too was abandoned by everyone. So I think this further strengthens the fact that she's probably angry at the Jedi's because they abandoned her. So maybe very likely that she was a young Jedi. And Reva tries to read Leia's mind because that's what she does, right? And this is sort of like the first indication of young Leia being force sensitive, because you can see it's not like she's very perfect. She can hold off the thing. Of course, she struggles, but at the same time, Reva being an ex-Padawan and also now an Inquisitor, and she cannot break into Leia's mind, shows how strong Leia's force sensitivity is, and it's just gonna get stronger and stronger in the years to come.
Yeah.
And
Like this, like it's like she's a kid. She doesn't know she's positive. It's like she's just telling herself, "I don't want to. Please don't look into my mind. Please don't look into my mind." She's just trying to build that cipher. But memang, I mean, Reva could not tap into. It's like the previous episode when they both when they were playing Obi Wan and Leia were playing like father daughter when they were going the truck, right? They were going away in the planet. So at that moment, the same thing when she could strongly sense that Obi-Wan knows who her actual father is. Do you know him? That kind of thing. Do you know my mother? That kind of questions. So it's not that she knows she's force sensitive. It's just that it's a kid, like for her it's a gut feeling, but we know it's a force sensitive kind of thing. So that's the only difference.
yeah, so you can imagine how strong she is, because she doesn't need training to tap into it. She's just born with it.
Yeah.
And it's also nice to see that she showed a little bit of attitude over there, especially when Reva said that Reva tried to reverse psychology Leia, saying that, oh, we're on the same side, I'll help you, I promise I won't hurt anyone. And then Leia was like, okay, but I have to tell my father first because you said that we're on the same side. Then you can see Reva is just like,
Yeah.
you're too smart for your young age. And immediately Reva brings her to the torture chamber and to torture Leia. I think even in the New Hope or in one of the trilogy, you'll see that they actually try to torture information out of Leia. So I guess she's not her first rodeo lah. I would say she's experienced this from a young age itself. And what's funny about this? You see when Tala goes into the base of operations, right? And then an officer comes to her and says that this is not your station. Why are you here? Not the first officer, not the gate one, but when she's sitting at the desk, and then she just easily takes out that officer. She knocks him out. But they weren't alone in that room. There was still a bunch of officers sitting at the front. So it's like, I don't understand. You just take someone out so quietly that the officers who are just close to you, they couldn't even realize. I think it's funny, but yeah, it's a filler episode. So yeah, what the hell, right? Just go ahead, lah. And while she's doing that, Obi-Wan, of course, comes across this chamber full of tombs. And you see all these Jedi's and force-sensitive individuals entombed. Looks something like Amber, like from Jurassic Park. Maybe they took.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a Jurassic Park fan. Yeah, it looks like that. And of course, you see a lot of people. Not really people that we've seen before, but there is one character, the first character we see like a goat-like person entombed, and that's Terra Shinobi. So Terra Shinobi, he's from the Clone Wars series. I think he appeared for one episode. He's a close friend to Ashoka, and he was Ashoka's mentor. So it's so sad to see that he's captured and entombed. And at the same time, we see a small boy, very obvious, a Padawan, because he was wearing the helmet, and it looks like the same kid from the first episode, when they show Order 66 being executed, and why is this boy here? And it's just that people are theorizing that probably that young black girl in the execution of Order 66 was Reva herself. So maybe
Yeah.
her friend was captured and entombed, so she's just keeping her friend entombed there, probably to bring him back alive later on. I don't know. Do you guys have any theory about that?
But that kid looked very a resemblance to if you remember in episode 3 when Anakin goes to the chamber to kill all those kids. That one particular thing will be the first middle shot, right? When he was wearing the helmet, right?
No.
He was not wearing the helmet. Okay, it looks very resemblant to that particular kid. So that's what
Yeah.
yeah.
It looked like that kid also, but we know that kid was to that. So yeah, this kid looks kidnapped and entombed. So probably might be still alive. I don't know. And so Tala tries to distract Reva from torturing Leia, and she comes up to Reva saying that they are on the planet Florum. So the planet Florum was also part of the Clone Wars. I think that was a planet that was ravaged by pirates. So probably she's trying to mislead Reva to go into a planet full of pirates and just get stuck over there. And this is the another funny part. Reva insists that Tala is lying, that she's actually a spy for the rebels and everything. But she has the power to read minds. She could have just easily read Tela's mind and figure out that she's lying. But then she's not, like, no, you admit to me and everything. I guess she got this some kind of ego where you admit before I find out. Like a mother scolding the child, you better tell me before I find out. If not, you're gonna be in trouble. That kind of thing. But then, of course, one of the secret droids finds out about Obi-Wan and Leia, and then he just alerts everyone. And of course, Reva finds out that Tela is in fact a spy for the rebels. And that's when Reva brings in her stormtroopers to attack Obi-Wan, and she brings in a purge trooper as well. So that this is not just a stormtrooper that's black and everything, but all of them have their own designation according to the suit style and everything. So the purge trooper is sort of like a much more higher ranking than the stormtroopers, and is sort of like a death squad, and part of Darth Vader's team itself. So yeah, it's nice to see that they introduce
These particular troopers was charting the timeline. This particular timeline is before the Mandalorian phenomenon. I mean, it's before the Mandalorian, right? If you all remember in the Mandalorian season 2, there's the dead troopers, the black troopers, but it's more robotic version of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is like the first concept idea that later on what Giancarlo Esposito's character had an idea of. Like, okay, because this was more human-like. It's a human, right? It's a human, right? So now they have, okay, I'll do this version, but more a robotic version of it. So I think it's pretty cool. Because at the moment I saw, I honestly first glance, I thought, oh shit, why is a dead trooper here? Like, it's from future in the timeline, right? So like after I realized, no, it's a human trooper kind of.
Yeah. So the death trooper is basically like dispensable.
Yeah,
I would say. So yeah, and you see the school scene of Obi-Wan deflecting all the blaster shots with the lightsaber. I mean, of course, we saw it in the first episode when you see the Jedi's fighting in the Jedi Temple, but this one you see Obi-Wan doing it. It's been quite some time since we've actually seen it. I think we saw it in the prequels, probably. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Anakin deflecting and everything. But yeah, it's cool to see it here as well. And this is where we see Obi-Wan using the Force again. I think one of the blasters hit the window, and the window is cracked, and the water is coming in. And you know that when you are underwater and you have a cracked window, the pressure is really, really, really strong. That
Yeah.
one small crack can just break it. But Obi-Wan managed to hold it off long enough for Leia and Tala to run to safety. So you can see the difference between the beginning of the episode where he struggled to move even on small object, and him holding one entire shattered window with tons and tons of water trying to push in. So yeah, here you can see that when the occasion arises, he is capable of using the force really strongly, I would say. And this one is another funny thing, where they finally managed to escape. And I don't know how Obi-Wan pulled off that cover Leia with the cloak. It's like all those cartoon comic thing where the two boys covered themselves in cloak trying to buy a movie ticket, and no one noticed. I guess everyone was just so busy. But I mean, if I'm really busy and panic, if I see someone with a huge butt walking behind them, I would really notice. But yeah, I guess they just want to speed up the episode. Maybe they don't know how to make them escape, and they
No,
just did.
yeah, it's just like this, just it's dumb. I mean, like we all know, like, oh my god, why they all know it's dumb, but it's also realistic at the same time because in that particular situation, realistic in the sense where they have no other choice. They just like it's like now or never kind of thing. It's
Mhm.
either they do it or they don't. They do it, they get caught. It's like okay, they get caught, but it's like the chances of percentage so high. They're so lucky, so they like pass through and no one notice and stuff like that. So it's just like both ways kind of thing.
Yeah, they're very lucky. Sometimes I put myself in that kind of situation. I don't think I'll be really that lucky. I will just get caught the moment I step my foot in. But yeah, it's Hollywood. It's cinema. Everyone has luck, you know, especially
I
when
think
you're.
I think it was just something like they just filled in just to just to fast forward the whole thing and
Yeah.
just maybe without a much you know any conflict or whatever lah, because maybe they didn't want to feel any conflict in that part or something like that.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
like, I think we all have already decided this is a filler episode. They didn't want like okay, they found out and then make a big issue out of it. The end goal was the ending scene. That's like the
yeah.
main
They
plot the whole
escape.
thing. So they want like move straight, go for it.
Yeah. Just cut to the chase, lah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they did. They ran under the cloak. I mean, Leia was hidden in the cloak, and Reva comes and confronts, saying traitor. I don't know why. Who is she calling traitor? I think she is calling Leia a traitor, but she
No, I know
basically,
she was
or
calling
Obi Wan,
she was calling sorry, what was the other lady's name again?
Tala.
She was calling her a traitor. So I do not know. When she says traitor, it feels like two things. It's either Reva thinks that she is a part of the Imperial, or she has been part of the Imperial before, and she has like she's not part of it anymore. That's the two things. That's all I can think of.
No, I
Or
think we are
or
already in
okay.
episode 4. We still don't know what he wants. Like what is the end goal? What okay, I know, okay, yeah, she wants to be the Grand Inquisitor, but you know the motive behind it, and whether she has any I don't know, like it's like they're teasing us, and maybe what they're going to do is this is just my prediction lah, maybe they will only like reveal it at the end so that they carry forward to season 2. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we have like another 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think they can cover her intentions. So probably like Sean said, just save it for season 2. But yeah, like I was saying, or she calls Obi-Wan a traitor because he was the one that was supposed to save the Jedi's, but then he abandoned, like she thinks he abandoned them, and everyone died or got kidnapped, and she was left abandoned. So probably that's why she calls Obi-Wan a traitor.
Yeah. No,
No, maybe
it's
because I think Obi-Wan was like in charge of training the Padawans, right?
Mm.
If I'm not mistaken, right? So he was like the one that the younglings are all like under him and things like that. So yeah,
Uh, I know. He was a general in
yeah.
war.
no. That was before. That was I think in Revenge of the Sith, but I think
Uh,
in Attack of the Clones, before he was sent to what's the planet? What's that rainy planet called again?
what planet?
The planet where they did the clones.
Ka. Oh
We
my gosh!
apologize
Don't
how
come and ask me like that.
yeah
I forgot.
yeah
That
okay, so
that that
before
water
he was
planet.
sent, before Yoda sent him there, I think he was like in charge of training the younglings, something like that. So maybe there are some younglings who were quite attached to him and looked up to him and things like that. Maybe she was one of them lah. Could be a
Mhm,
theory. Yeah.
mhm.
I mean, it's definitely not Leia at all, because with that amount of emotion, Reva shouted at. I don't think she was going to
Yeah.
shout at the kid like that with this much emotion. It's either Obi-Wan or Tala, because the moment when she said traitor, the only person who interacted with her was Tala.
Mm.
You know, he was interacting, like replying to whatever she was saying. So that's the thing. I don't know who she meant, and like I said before, I don't know whether Reva is saying in a sense where she thinks that Tala is still she's part of the Imperial, so she's traiting now. She's betraying now, or she has been an Imperial before, so that's why she's implying that you are a traitor, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two theories. You guys let us know what y'all think. Lah. Just put in the comments below. Who do you think that Reva calls a traitor? So yeah, during this confrontation, of course, a couple of T-47 comes in. I guess you can say this is the beginning of the rebels, because you see Sully and Wade, who were the pilots of these T-47s. Initially, they said that that they are not soldiers, and after that, when Wade dies, because Reva throws in a fuel cell and it explodes, and then when Sully only comes alive, Tala tells her, "Guess you're soldiers after all." So probably that's where the rebellion begins, right? So yeah, of course, yeah, Wade dies. That's sad. And now this is the interesting thing that I want to talk about: the scene where Darth Vader comes in. I don't think we've actually seen him furious and walking fast like that, because we always see him so calm and collect. I mean, come on, think about it. He practically set up a dinner table for Han Solo and Luke, I think in Empire Strikes Back. But over here you see him so angry and so furious, and he just came and choked Reva, and saying that you knew the consequences. And then only once Reva told him that she set a tracker, and then that video was like, it seems I may have underestimated. I mean, like, this guy can't really say, I'm sorry for choking you. He's so
Yeah.
egoistic. but yeah, to talk about that, I guess this further shows that this is a very young Darth Vader, still an Anakin that is fueled with anger, with very rash decisions. He's not calm and collect as we see him in the original trilogy, right?
He has like strong amount of powers from the dark side, so he just uses it, like at any given moment, like you see not basically in episode 3, when he comes to the planet to capture Obi-Wan, like what you said, like you kill a couple of the villagers there and stuff. So like, you see he just, I think when the older version of Darth Vader comes there, I don't think he would actually kill them. He'll be like, he wouldn't kill them, but maybe the stormtroopers will just direct them to kill them or something.
Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't do it, probably. But he does it because he has this immense amount of power that he feels he can just tap and uses it. Like, okay, I can just choke, I can just kill, okay, I can do whatever. I'm filled with anger and stuff. I just want to make sure things, keep things moving, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very interesting to see this version of Darth Vader when they're very young.
I guess this is a much more scarier version of Darth Vader, because he doesn't stop to think twice. He can just snap your neck in half
Yeah.
just because he wishes so. So of course, Reva mentions that she sets a tracker and Darth Vader is happy about it. And turns out that the tracker is Lola, the friendly robot of Leia. And yeah, that's all for Obi-Wan episode 4. So what do you guys think about this?
I mean, it's a interesting filler episode because, as we all know, all the series will have a filler episode. So this is one of them definitely. But then in this filler episode, we see certain interesting things which actually captured my mind. Like the interesting thing about Star Wars is there is so much of in betweens of the timeline where they can tap into it. The interesting thing is that this chamber where they capture all these Jedi is a very brand new thing which we have never known before, and now for all Star Wars fans, like something to tap into it some more, like because they never mentioned Darth Vader capturing all these Jedi and keeping the chamber. What would he want them for? So there's a question mark to see further, and there are interesting rumors that we will be getting Obi-Wan season 2. There's still so much to cover on, but it's stated that this one is a limited series, but they still can change something up later on and say like, okay, we can come up with a season 2 because there is still so much in the timeline which they can still do with the Obi-Wan character, which they can still cover so much of storylines which they can. The interesting thing about Star Wars is you can do series or movies which you can interconnect and then you connect it at the original trilogies at every single point. Like how Rogue One connected with the at the end of the scene connected with the opening scene of New Hope. Right, so it's something is very interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, for me, of course, the episode was more like what it says, like more like a filler, more nothing really, not much story, like storytelling, right? More of this action here, action there, trying to find their way so that they can tell the next story, right? So it was something like that. I mean. Yeah, I mean, it's okay for them to do that. There's no harm because we get to experience like what Harvin said about new things that that they can just like put in subtly so that they can expand on it if they want to, and there's options there for them to do that. I think normally that's why they do this kind of thing so that that if there's an off chance there's a spin-off from Obi-Wan to another sort of storyline, they can do that also. So it was okay, but I'm very much looking forward to the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, all of us are looking for the next 2 episodes. 2 more episodes left in 2 more weeks. So I really hope that we get a really, really good conclusion for this entire season. So yeah.
Hold on, just before we all move on, I just want to place a bet here right now because there's only 2 episodes. I know Eric is not here, but then the chances of this character popping out in the next episode is very high. It's either the next episode or the finale. So if it doesn't appear in the next episode, Eric still has a chance to bet, but I just want to bet it right now. Who thinks Qui-Gon is going to appear in the next 2 episodes?
I think probably in the last episode you will see like a hint of Qui-Gon that's going to lead to season 2.
A hint of Qui-Gon. So cameo or no cameo?
Probably like maybe a voice.
Okay.
Like they hear a voice or like a far away force ghost appearing.
For me, I hope they will do it. Whether they give us a post credit scene in the last episode or because I think Liam Neeson is still young, still use him while he's there, so we don't want a much older.
So there's nothing to worry.
Yeah, so I hope, but if it doesn't turn out, it's a very big disappointment. I think we'll boycott Star Wars for a while.
So yes for Qui-Gon or no for Qui-Gon? I'm saying yes.
Yes. We all want him there. That's a ridiculous bet to make. How do we want him?
I think since the beginning we've been saying that we are going to see Qui-Gon.
Yeah. So we all hope to see Qui-Gon.
Okay, bet jadi because all of us are hoping to see Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys are waiting to see Qui-Gon as well, let us know what you guys think. Whether is he going to appear? I mean, of course, we kind of have a bet with the 3 of us.
You know what the funny thing will be?
What?
If they recast Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, no. No. Please, no.
No, I got another friend. Who thinks Mace Windu is gonna show up?
No, I
Same like
don't think
Qui-Gon
so.
lah, from the afterlife. From the beyond.
There's a possibility that he's still alive. They didn't really show Mace
Yeah.
Windu die.
Yeah.
He fell out the window.
Windu. Yeah.
It could
I mean,
be.
he's
We
the
never know.
only
All,
Jedi
you know.
who held the purple lightsaber. So yeah.
Yeah. That one also just for fun.
Yeah. Because he insisted it.
Okay, Harvin, are you done with your bets or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so based on Harvin's bet, if you guys think Qui-Gon is going to appear or not going to appear, let us know in the comments. And we'll be seeing you guys for the next 2 upcoming episodes of Obi-Wan, and hopefully we could break down more deeper into whatever they're going to show. And at the same time, make sure to follow us on thegeekstreet.my, which is our Facebook and Insta channel. That is where we post stuff about all of our videos. And also make sure to like and subscribe our YouTube video, The Geek Street. And
Discord channel.
the Discord channel. The Discord channel link is in our bio, in our Instagram page. So make sure to check out our Discord channel.
Also in
That
the
is
description below.
in the description. Sean, you want to do the Discord part?
No, I'm just feeling it where you're missing out.
Okay, in the description below. Okay, basically that is also. We'll see you guys next week. I think it's quite late now, so I'm like tired as well. That's why I'm just like. Okay, so this is the Geek Street, and the street has spoken. May the force be with you. See you guys next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.